WTF, we're doing a podcast. I'm Niki.
And I'm Michelle. This is 50. Welcome to What the 50. Join us on our continued journey to simplify our lives.
We will seek the answers from the experts and offer tips, tools, and techniques to live your life with confidence and joy. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Niki.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
We are so excited to have you. Tanya, we have had you on our list of guests for a long time.
I feel very honored to
No,
be on that
trust me.
list.
Trust me.
And even my husband was excited because I told him,
Really?
we're doing a podcast
Yes.
recording. And he says, with who? I said, well, the Tik Tok Mom, from Tomo TV. He goes, really?
You're joking.
You're more famous than you realize, my dear.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's
I'll give a little
humbling.
background.
Mhm.
A little background. I've known Tanya from in the 80s. Is
Yes.
that long? Tanya, long time. So I
Don't
went to
say how
And
many.
80.
long time.
Yeah.
Long time. So I went to high school with Tanya's brother, Patrick.
Okay.
Her favorite brother. Her favorite brother is Patrick. And I went to the Campion with Patrick. And
Right.
back then, going to Tanya's house was the house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Tanya's parents were just absolutely amazing. They welcomed all of us. There was,
Oh, yes.
was a group of us, Lisa and Brian and
Mhm.
Mark and all of us.
Mhm.
Jeffrey, we were all at all
Andrew,
at the house.
everybody.
Everybody was at the house.
Yes.
And there were lots of interaction. It wasn't just playing games and laughter, but there were some serious conversations that took
Mhm.
place as well.
But that was a strategy,
I believe you.
That was
I
a strategy.
believe
He didn't want us to leave. So he said, bring all your friends.
Right, bring all the friends. Bring all the friends. But
That's
let
what
me tell
happened.
you, that strategy was great because
Yes.
going to your house was a safe place.
Yeah,
It was
that's
a
true.
really safe place. And
That's
I'm sure
very
if I went there today, I would still have that same feeling.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, man, definitely. So,
Thank you.
you started off, and I remember this too, and I'm kind of babbling a little bit, but I remember when we used to pick you up from Pulse.
Oh.
And it was a big deal because we pick up Tanya, we're waiting in the car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my sister's a model. And
This is 1985.
no, it was a big deal back then.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Tell us about the modeling, Tanya. And you're still modeling.
Yeah.
You take a thing every now and again, right?
Yeah, yeah. Up to Sunday, I had a wild time. But
Right.
the modeling was a side effect, kind of. Let me tell you, side effect. I went away to college to do
Right.
fashion merchandising because I could sew and I wanted to get into the fashion industry, but I couldn't draw to save my life. So I said, I'm not doing fashion design. So I'm going to do merchandising. That's the sales, marketing side of it. And then they also had a minor in modeling. And I said, what the heck? Why not?
Why
Let
not?
me tell you, I was shy. I was a girl who went under the bed to hide when people came to the house when I was small. I got my book and I was out. Yeah.
Wow.
So to this day, Daddy would say, people coming in here, you're going to stay? so, so I decided that I needed to get out of my shell. And this was my willful, deliberate ploy act to get that side of me out. So I did it. And I actually came first.
Awesome.
Wow, yeah.
Awesome.
So when I came back home,
Yes.
then I saw, because I didn't know at the time, I think I was away when the first 2 years started because I was away at college. And then when I came back, I heard, oh, there's Miss Make a fashion model. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. So I went down to Pulse and Kingston said, you're in. You're in.
Yes.
was it.
And you did very well. You were third runner-up.
Good runner up. Yeah.
And this was the year that Althea Lang,
Yeah.
she won that year, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I mean, Althea is, wow. She is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yep. I
Phenomenal.
was still tight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So after modeling, what happened after that?
So coming out of modeling, I actually did some more stuff in modeling because I was teaching ramp skills at Pulse. So I taught people like Romeo Gordon, Sandra Foster.
Wow.
That's it. That came behind me. They had me as a ramp skills coordinator at the time. So I did a lot of that and did shows, 40 million shows. And coming out of the shows, I was doing ads as well. I did that. And then I said, well, time to do something else. And my dream job is what I did next, because I actually did my dream job right after that,
Which
was
was?
flight attendant.
Okay, nice.
I always wanted to be a flight attendant. I had a neighbor, and you probably know them too.
Right.
The Sharps,
Right.
Racing Sharp, Solomon Sharp.
Right.
His Solomon's grandmother lived next door to me when we were in Mona.
Okay.
I would see the pickup coming with Solomon's dad. It was a pilot, a captain at the time. And I would see the people in the van and said, that's my job. And I applied and got it.
And flight
So
attendants.
87, I started Air Jamaica.
Yeah, man, flight attendants were amazing those days.
Oh,
I
yes,
mean, they
I
still are,
remember.
but I mean, they were so well dressed, the Air Jamaica flight attendants.
Mhm.
Did you know I worked at
Kind of
Air Jamaica
standard.
for a short time?
Oh, I thought that
Hmm?
you knew each other.
No, I worked at Air Jamaica for a short time. You probably
You
don't
did?
know. In Mobay, yes, I did.
Oh, you're in Mobay?
In Mobay,
Okay,
Mr. Morrison.
okay.
Yes, as ground crew, loved it.
Yeah,
I can understand.
fantastic experience. Yeah.
So after Air Jamaica, what happened? You went into
And then
corporate?
after Air Jamaica, well, I damaged my back, so I couldn't fly
Oh.
anymore.
Okay.
So, and I've had 2 back surgeries since that. And I'm
Ooh.
not perfect, yes. I had 6 screws and then I lost 1. That is, I lost a screw, and that's normal. So I only have 5 now. But no, I can run up and down and dance and everything else, so I'm fine.
Awesome. And model.
But yeah. But after Air Jamaica, I have to get it chronological because there's so many things in between then and now.
Right.
So right after Air Jamaica, I did airlines on the ground. So I
Mhm.
left Air Jamaica in the air. I went to BWI on the ground,
Okay.
and I stayed there for maybe 7 years, and then went back to Air Jamaica on the ground at the airport. Because
Okay.
I love the airlines. It's in my blood. If they say come back, no, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them here. but they know, you know?
Yes.
And I
yes.
always make reference to it. Even if I'm talking to them about something, there's something applicable in the airline industry that they need to know about, whether it's safety or whatever. So I did that. And then while I was doing that, I was doing my master's now, because it was an associate for the fashion side of it. I was doing my bachelor's, and I had both children.
Okay. So
Okay.
you've been married now and you have 2 children.
Right.
Right.
So during all of that now came the children and going back to school and doing the bachelor's and the master's. But while I was doing my bachelor's, I declared in the class, and I have a thing about declaring things because I put it out in the universe.
Love
And I
that.
declared to anybody who would listen, I'm not staying here. I need to go somewhere else now. Time. And my teacher heard me. And she sent my resume to Mayberry Investments. And that's how I got into corporate.
Finance.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's Grace Martin Hall. That's Dr. Grace Martin Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So off I went to finance for 11 years in
Interesting.
HR.
Mm-hmm.
And doing all of that now, trying to get the children to go to college. And they're saying, no, I'm not going because we women to college with you. We're not doing it again.
College already.
I need to go again. But they went and they did it. So that's how all that evolved. And then somebody sent my resume from Mayberry to JPS because I wasn't applying to JPS. And then, no, I'm here and I retire next year,
Yeah.
and I will
Wow.
retire from JPS.
Right. And Tania, of course, is the Director of Strategy, Workforce Management in HR at JPS. Oh, that's a long title.
It is.
So Tanya,
Call
tell
it the
us
swim
about being a
team.
mom.
Yes.
Tell us about being a mom to Simon and Shari. I remember when you had the children, I'm like, wow, Tanya, mommy Tanya.
And how old are they now?
Well, let me try and remember now. One is 32 this year,
Wow.
and one is 28 this year. Yeah,
Oh,
they're 4
geez.
years apart. The plan was
Awesome.
2 years, but 2 years in the work, so they're 4 years apart. But
Right.
they're like this.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about your children.
Okay,
And of
so
course, Tanya's smile just got super wide a while ago to talk about her kids. Well, not kids, I'm sorry, your adult
Young
children.
adult. What was it? Are they young?
Yeah, adults.
yeah, they're still children. I'm still my mother's child.
Silly babies.
Still the
Okay.
babies. I still call Shari baby girl.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Simon, the most hyperactive child you could ever find, from birth to now. I mean, I remember labor, 2 pushes and he was out. You might
Ready
have to
to come.
edit that, but
Ready
2
to come.
pushes and he was out. He was here.
Right.
Shari, not so much. But both of them have come into their own. Shari tried corporate for a while. She said, not me. I'm baking. So she bakes, and she bakes fantastic stuff.
Shout out to Do Jamaica.
Do Jamaica.
We've actually had her pastry.
And they are amazing. Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Yep.
This
We
is
didn't
love, I can tell
gain
you.
any weight when we had them. That's how fabulous they are.
The
Very
fast
good.
eating creates the
No,
metabolism.
yeah, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you can have them before you do a workout.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Shari's pastry, delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her chocolate stuff is just to die for. That's
my
my
God.
thing. I'm a chocolate addict. So I have to curb myself. Once every 2 months, I steal a piece of a brownie.
No, she knows.
Now I want to get some
Some
brownies.
brownies.
Oh my God.
But the brownies are really good.
Yeah, we
And
can go.
so she did corporate, and she said, it wasn't for her. She decided to do her passion. And I remember when she just started out. And you know how young people are? They want it right now. They want stuff right now. So she started off, and it started off slowly. And she would have an order every now and then. And then she would crack a joke and say, Mom, I got to shut down this operation. Not happening. I said, Shari, you will live to remember this and wish for these days. Well, lo and behold, every day for the last maybe year and a half, it's been, oh, Jesus Christ. Look here, Tanya, what's the supermarket? You need to get some stuff. I'm out. See, don't think yourself. You think people not going to order? They're ordering. Okay,
Yes,
so stop
yes.
buying 2 of this and 3 of that. Get a case. So,
The business is
Oh,
growing.
yes,
Congrats, Shari.
yes.
Do
So
it.
she's realizing that there are ebbs and flows. And I said, there's always going to be an ebb before payday and the day before payday. And after that,
Hello.
so catch your sleep when you can.
Right.
Simon,
Yes, Simon's a table tennis man.
yes. And Simon is such a, I don't know what to call it. All right, so let me tell you. When Simon was small, he was hyperactive. And he was playing table tennis. He started off playing table tennis because he just wanted something to do. And his father said yes, and his grandpa said yes. And off he was at Vars playing table tennis. Eventually became MVP. He left Vars as the MVP for table tennis for the prep school championships. So he was really good, really talented, naturally talented from a child. And then he got to the point, no, university, and he's saying, no, he doesn't want to go. And I said, yes, you have to go. And then he comes to me and he says, so what about going away? Because now he's a national representative. I said, well, you take and Cass not going anywhere. So go play table tennis.
Love
you know,
that.
you can do that after. Daddy did his degree at 60. I did my master's at 40. So it's not going anywhere. And besides, you can't see the world if you go to your degree first, because by then you're too old to play table tennis and you
Right,
Yeah.
right.
to be able to. So he did that. And when he asked me, and I said to him, I said, Simon, go. He looked at me and said, you know, people don't understand how weird this motherhood of yours is. You know, it's really weird. I said, well, it's practical because I saw my mother go through it. I saw my mother see the world because of netball. She was also a captain, did very well for donkey's years. I grew up on a netball court. She planted me on a netball court at 6 weeks old because she had to go back to training. So I grew up in the sport. So I understood what it was to travel and, you know, expand yourself through travel, through sports. So he did that. And then he came back and he finished his school. So none the worse for wear.
You kind of just breezed over. He came back. I mean, wasn't Simon like champion?
Yes.
National
So he's
champion?
5-time national champion.
Okay.
5 times. Wow.
5 times consecutively, history. He also lived in Damrek for maybe almost 7-8 months. I can't remember. He's fluent in Spanish because of that.
Nice.
He lived in Sweden for months because he was playing in the league in Sweden. Sweden saw him at one of the championships and called him, and he was living there. So now for him, Jamaica is just too hot. Can't take the heat.
And
So-
it is very hot, I have to admit.
It
right
is.
No, it's terrible.
It is.
But I've actually seen Simon play and he looks like a machine.
now. Really?
He does.
He looks like a machine.
He does.
Unreal.
Especially even when he's practicing. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
dizzy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So that's
So
so motherhood for you was a little bit unconventional, wouldn't you say? Because
yes,
usually, and I think Nikki and I are similar with that. I mean, we certainly believe in encouraging our children to do what they want to do,
Of course.
where their heart really is. And you really, I mean, Simon has seen the world.
exactly.
Shari's she has her own business.
Right.
That's just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
And may I add that you did this, a lot of it on your own, because sadly your husband passed away when they
Right.
were 10 and 6.
10 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a case of mistaken identity and being in the wrong place at the wrong time,
Oh,
all of that.
Oh,
So that was I think that was the hardest thing I've ever had to say to my children.
oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. That was a period. That was a period. Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychiatrists, all that, because I need to make sure they're okay.
Yes.
So
And they
to
are.
make sure I took them,
Yes.
and they went for one visit and never went back.
No, let me tell you something. I mean, you're now Jamaica's favorite TikTok mom, right?
Yeah, but that's
But your entire life is TikTok, Tanya.
exactly.
You can just have a camera in your house and just press record constantly. Because no, let me just say this though. Tanya's household, and I'm saying before children, it's just always funny. There's just always some sort of laughter going on. If I see her brother in the supermarket now, we say something that's so ridiculous that we start laughing and people are like, what's wrong with those two? It's just a natural thing. You guys are not acting. It's naturally like that. And that's why you all look so fabulous, you know.
I know.
The laughter.
And the energy is just
The energy, very positive. I love it. I love it. Tell us about TikTok.
Yeah, but what we really want to know
About TikTok.
how you got into this TikTok thing.
COVID. The COVID with the silver lining. COVID. Sam was at home, having come back from Spain on the last flight out of Spain before they locked down the place. Because he was there for some training, coaching, him and Kane Watson.
Okay.
And he said, no, but it's okay. I said, it's soon breeze over. And I said, get your behind on the plane now. I went to the travel agency. My boss said, go. I went to the travel agency, got them the ticket, and they were home. Both of them were home in the nick of time. So they're both quarantined at my house because I've now left them because, of course, COVID is going to kill you, right? And I'm asthmatic, so I'm not staying. Me and Shari evicted, and the two of them are at my house. And the next thing I know is that Simon is doing all kinds of strange table tennis tricks on, and videoing it. And then the evolution of TikTok. So when that whole phase of quarantine was over now, I get to go back into my house. And then Simon calls and says, let's do this. And I'm like, what is this? Because of course, I don't know what TikTok is. Let's do this. And I say, okay, fine. Because one thing with Tanya, she up for the foolishness, right? Anybody who didn't know that I'm one of the children, because that's just how we behave.
And you are a model and an actor, so it's
creative.
And that's what it said.
Yes. We didn't even talk about Royal Palm, but anyhow, we'll get back to that.
Okay.
What? Say that again.
Royal Palm. We didn't talk about Royal Palm.
Oh, yeah, right.
We can get back to that. There's so much about Tanya.
Oh my gosh. She needs a book.
It started off because, as you said, Michelle, about the video in the house, he saw me doing stuff and he goes, seriously? No, people need to know that you're not as sane as they think. and the crap that you do in the house, people need to know about it. And he said, okay, so I said, whatever. So the most famous one is the remote. And I think every parent does it, whether it's to turn the fan on or to get the remote, and the remote is right there.
Right there.
Yeah. And I'm calling him to get the remote. And that's where it started. So
and that's the most famous one to this day?
To this day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I can't remember how many millions of things that had. I can't keep up with the statistics. He can tell you. But that one was the one. And then it just evolved after that. And then he started getting calls from corporate Jamaica.
Right, yes.
To come and do sponsorship ads, promos for them. And that's it.
Wow.
And Shari's a part of that as well, because she's in
Shari's a part of it. And Uncle Patrick was a part of it too. And the comments on one of them when Patrick was in, says, who are these new people? So if you say that to him, he will die laughing because that was a saying for like weeks. The new
For
people.
these new people.
And you were just being yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the beauty of it. I think one of my favorite ones was when he wanted to go out, and you said they said, "Yeah, man, you can go," and he's like, "What?" And he just spun around and went back right back inside. The reverse psychology just kill him.
And that wasn't scripted. So I have to script it because of the sponsors.
I
But a
believe,
lot of them, it's just him just said, just do you.
I believe you.
I love that though. That's amazing.
And that's what makes it fun, because I will sit and watch, and they're just the right length. Too.
Right, exactly.
They're the right length, and I'll sit and
Yes.
watch whether he's putting on ketchup on one fry,
Right.
whatever it is. I mean, I just think they're just great. I love
For
it.
me, for
The
him,
energy.
yes. But
I know.
the energy, the one that I love the most,
Yes.
the one that he did, was it Beanie Man and Bounty Killer? And he
Okay.
had that stomach. It's way back in the beginning.
We have to go look
I
for that
have
one.
to look for that
Way
one.
back in the beginning, I cracked up because I said, Simon, I had no idea you had two personalities.
No,
He does the personality thing so well.
My favorite is when he had the three personalities and he was going out with Ashley with the accent on the E. Oh, that was
Yes.
that one was hilarious. That one was pretty good. But I think you bring a lot of
All names he knows, by the way. Those are all names of friends.
Oh, really?
It's a whole thing.
Everything is authentic.
Oh my gosh. So
But you bring laughter to homes. You and your family. It's at a time. I mean, COVID was such a heavy.
I know.
time, no?
and I bet you get a lot of diaspora. I can
I'm
never
sure
pronounce it.
Yes.
Diaspora.
And
Diaspora.
I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people from everywhere in the world.
They just want to
Africa.
connect
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah,
to-
Yes.
And
Because
because so naturally can easily connect with it.
And
Because you can picture that parent sitting in the living room. Since you're already standing, can you get me the water? You know the child is not standing. We do it all the time. Pass the remote is right there.
Mhm.
It's just something that we can all identify with.
Of course. All the time to go look for something and they can't find it. It's right there. I'm like, really?
No,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. We love it. Niki's husband loves
Yes,
it.
yes,
and
for sure.
and I didn't even know that Trevor knew. But
I know, neither did I. Who knew?
who knew?
Well, look here, let me tell you. I went to go see my doctor yesterday, and I'm walking from the car to the carport to the doctor's office. It was undercroft, and all I hear from next door is Tania, because of course Simon calls me my first name.
Tanya, yes, I love it.
Everybody knows me as Tania. Tanya. So I look up, and it's a huge waving. And I'm like, I know I don't understand, but I know it's TikTok. But it is just so humbling. It is so absolutely humbling.
Yes.
And then people free to say something to me, you know? Yeah.
So what's next for the episodes or for the brand? It's not a brand. What's next?
He wants to do vlogs. I know he wants to do vlogs. And I think he's kind of started.
Okay.
I know he was doing some promotion for hotels and stuff, but he wants to do his brand of vlogs. I don't know what they're going to entail, but as usual, I'm up for the gimmicks.
Of
Oh,
course.
good. So you will be involved.
If you have me, yes. If you have me.
So before what we want to talk to you about, this is our Mother's Day series.
Yeah.
And Michelle and I have children that are getting into your children's age. And we are always saying, oh my gosh, they're getting big now. What's our relationship going to be with adult children?
Mhm.
So I think that you are definitely a role model for us. So tell us your tips.
Let them be. Let them be. I mean, I always say that I trusted what was done with them when they were younger. So it would be a little difficult for them to just go completely crazy and off the wall and do something that is completely out of character or different from how they were brought up. And we've had the benefit of the village, the grandparents are there, the cousins are there, his aunts and uncles, because Peter's sisters and their families are all involved.
Good.
So I don't think we need to worry.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to worry. Let them be. Let them be.
As simple as that.
Let them be.
Just listen to them and let them be.
Yeah, I think listening is important.
Listening.
Yes.
Because sometimes they say, "Lord, you chat too much." And they tell me I chat too much. And let me tell you, the most honest opinions come from those two children.
Oh, absolutely. They tell it
There's
like it
no
is.
editing, no filter.
They tell it like it is.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. I might sulk for about 20 minutes. Because you can sulk. But I hear them. So sometimes
You're doing a
don't
fabulous job.
Thank you.
And, you know, thank you for letting us get a little sneak peek into your living room. Seeing you, your children, when they're interacting.
I love the relationship.
I love it. I mean, Tanya.
Especially
we have our fuss and fights, you know. We have our fuss and fights. Don't get that twisted. We have our fuss and fights.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It comes back.
Of course. Because the foundation is solid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love it.
And thank you for taking the time to be with us and to share you really need a book, I'm telling you.
So part 2, we're going to have to get you back for part 2 so you can tell us about Royal Palm Estate.
Oh,
She's in the Hall of Fame.
That burns, yes. Yes, that was great. Yes, definitely.
We love to hear about that. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle. Thanks, Niki. Absolutely enjoyed it.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of What the 50. Please show your love and encouragement by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review wherever you're listening.
And don't forget to like and follow us on Instagram. And please join our active Facebook group at What.the50.